Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to NGS, the Nexus Gaming Series. We are doing some Division D East today. I am Tetcher. I live here on this channel and here in America for at least the next couple of weeks. And joining me once again is the love of my life and one of my favorite co-casters, Jixika. Hello.
Hi everyone. Thanks so much for showing up. Oh, we have a lobby link, so it looks like we're hopping right in. I'm super excited to be here.
Hell yeah, we're already underway. We're in a lobby. I'm making sure we can actually hear the game, so that will be good. But because everyone's rolling in pretty freaking fast, let's waste no time and talk about how we got here and who we have playing today. And to do that, we have to drop to the map screen. As you can see, our maps here in week number 6 is going to be Cael'Thas Can't Spell, which is a fantastic name, versus the Church of Murky. And what we had here is Cael'Thas Can't Spell. One of their bands hasn't shown up, weirdly enough. Let's see if I can fix that. Which one isn't showing up? What isn't showing up? It's one of the Church of Murky's bands. Battlefield. Battlefield isn't showing up. Let's just swap that and swap that. Fixed it. Alright, now it's working. Now it's normal. Alright, so as you can see, Church of Murky banned out Battlefield of Eternity and Cursed Hollow, whereas Cael'Thas Can't Spell banned out Infernal Shrines and Volskaya Foundry, with Church of Murky going to be picking Tomb of the Spider Queen, as Cael'Thas Can't Spell opted for first pick. Feels good.
Jumping right into it, I'll have just a couple of quick stats for you guys here. Cael'Thas Can't Spell, they're currently 11th in Div D East. Church of Murky all the way up at 5, so I'm really excited to see these games. See maybe Cael'Thas Can't Spell can't get a couple more points, boost that ranking just a little bit. We are still very early in the season. Actually, no, we're not. We're getting ready for playoffs, I think.
We are. We're week 6. We're rolling through this. Are they on the right side? Yes, they are. Feels good. Alrighty. It helps because, excuse me by the way, it helps because they all have Cael'Thas portraits and everyone on Church of Murky except for one has a Murky portrait. So all except one. Oh no, that is a Cael'Thas portrait. I've been bamboozled. It's hiding in there amongst the actual good Cael'Thas portraits.
Ooh, calling out the portrait.
His head's so long, dude.
Yeah.
No, I love it. Teams are online. They are getting ready to jump in. Like you said, pretty big difference between these two teams. Church of Murky currently sitting at a pretty solid 10 points with 2 dominations, 8 games won, 4 games lost. Feels feels pretty decent actually considering. And then we have the wonderful Cael'Thas Can't Spell, 3 points, 0 dominations, 3 games won, 9 games lost over 5 matches played. I believe that means they haven't won a series yet.
No, I mean if they went to 1-on-1, they've won 3 games. They could have won a series.
That's true. It is possible. It is absolutely possible they could do so.
Well, let's see if they can't pick those numbers up this week. I am falling out of the camera frame.
Sorry, I swapped it the exact wrong time.
There we go, as I adjusted, gosh darn it. Hopefully we'll get some good games. Nonetheless, I'm excited to see what CCS can do, but I'm also very excited to see some Church of Murky. See if we can't get any silly drafts going. We are starting here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. That's a great place to start. Nice slow map. You get to see a lot of the wave clear come out for teams. You get to see a lot of team fight potential as well around those altars, as later on you realize the longer the game goes on, there isn't as much to do since getting those gems becomes really difficult, and the team who is behind in structures usually has all the gems. So a lot of team fight comes out. I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited to see what they do with the spiders. We're just waiting for everybody.
Yep.
Go ahead
Jesus.
and file in. Oh my
Sorry about that, team. Sorry about that. It was me.
If you heard anything, that was the sound of Weenus's birthday stream. Happy birthday, Weenus, if you're out there, if you see this later.
Yep. When you hit the go to dashboard button, it doesn't take you to the dashboard on mobile, apparently. It just loads up whatever the last stream you were watching is, and mine was Weenus. So as such, maximum bamboozle.
It just loads up Weenus every single time. Every time you open your dashboard, it's Weenus.
It's automatic.
He
is the Twitch front page. He exists. 1 million hour stream incoming. No, he would. That's unhealthy. Don't do that. Either way, we have the game. Starting off, we are going in, ladies and gentlemen, to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Let's get this underway. And we're in to the draft, ladies and gentlemen. No one has picked or banned yet, but we are underway. Cael'Thas can't spell on the left. First pick, the map choice of Church of Murky, who are positioned on the right. Unsolicited Weedus, says Zool Rules.
Also, Asma Chad, I want to let you know that you have a fantastic name, and I definitely agree. Always got to have that one teammate that doesn't follow the portrait synergy.
Absolutely.
And they're not even the captains. What's up with that?
I know. Absolute bamboozle. Feels bad, team. HGC 3.0. Feels good, dude. NGS are doing such a fantastic job over here in North America, keeping the hero scene alive. Zool Rule's going to be sad, as Zool's rule here is must be banned, going to be removed. ETC was also taken out really high up on those tank picks. Johanna, though, has so far slipped through.
Yeah, we could definitely see Johanna. The two strongest tanks available right now are Johanna and Garage. So we'll see if they take that out and opt to pick up that Johanna or the Garage themselves. This is one of the best Johanna maps right now. We see that Anduin taken away, that infinite cleanse on a 90-second cooldown. So I guess it kind of is finite. But nonetheless, get him out of here. Makes for setting up the engages and the kills very difficult on your tank.
Very true. So with Anduin taken away, we now have a situation where several of the top heroes have been left available. It's going to be Rhaegar who is chosen as the ban, meaning so far Anna has been allowed through, Johanna has been allowed through, and so many more of these top priority heroes. What are we going to see out of these two teams? Cael'Thas can't spell with the highest priority here. If they are a Cael'Thas team, then Johanna is definitely the better option over Anna, I'd say. Even though Anna Cael'Thas is fantastic, the value of pulling people together for Living Bomb is insane. But no, it's Greymane going to come in first.
Greymane is considered to be one of the best ranged assassins at this time in the meta, so I can definitely understand why they want to pick it up. They want to focus on a really strong offense. And who knows, maybe the Johanna and the Anna and the Cael'Thas will be left up. I know it's not good maps for Murky, but I'm going to be a little disappointed if we don't see a Cael'Thas on Cael'Thas and Murky on Murky. Just saying. They are going to pick up that Johanna Sylvanas. Really strong picks for the map.
I agree that I would like to see the Murky, and the fact is with Johanna here, Murky as the melee assassin in the composition does work out quite well. Slime build plus Johanna is actually no joke. It is possible, but Murky into Greymane is a problem, so the likelihood does go down a bit, but there is still a chance. There it is! Cael'Thas makes it, calling out the Church of Murky. And they gotta follow through. We will find out as Cael'Thas and Diablo. That is a burst comp coming in for Cael'Thas can't spell.
Very excited. It's a nice CC chain. You can have the Diablo set up into the Cael'Thas and then the blow up from the Greymane. Diablo, not necessarily the highest priority tank right now, but if you can play him, he still does a lot of damage, and he makes you seem really meta despite what everybody says. Great map for him with all those chokes in the turn-in pits. We'll have to see what they can accomplish with this Diablo.
As we hit the Deathwing ban, it will be removed this time. It is a reasonable map for Deathwing. The flight is good for global, but there's a lot of tight corridors where Deathwing can get value here. Just while waiting for the next ban, thank you Ultimate Hooks and Asmo Chad for your follows. Welcome. Let's see. Your Blizzard, Cael'Thas, Blizzard spelled Cael'Thas wrong. I absolutely love it. So we see the next ban with Johanna on the board, Sylvanas taken out, Anduin taken out. Do you think the Anduin is taken out because of potential light bombs? Because they picked up Johanna, even though Johanna is first pick anyway? Do you think that might be like a known factor amongst these teams?
I could definitely see that. It could also be a comfort pick for somebody on the side of Church of Murky. He's just an all-around good hero. Like I said, having cleanse on a trait is really strong right now, and his ability to stay relatively safe while he heals from the backline can be so infuriating if you're trying to get a kill.
Ooh. White main Kerrigan. Now, white main is in a situation where if you're a good white main player and you're actually not pressured too much, you can play a really solid game, but she's not the highest priority of picks. But seeing the supports that have been banned out, though, it kind of makes sense to see her come in here as the options are a little low. And when combined with Kerrigan, she can actually do some really reasonable work with those chains to set up for Kerrigan. We'll see if that's what they do.
I'm very excited. Lucio is going to make Kerrigan's life very difficult, speeding those teams up. She's going to have to be precise with her combos, unless they're one of those god Kerrigans who uses all three of their abilities independent of each other and just dominates. As you were saying with white main, I definitely agree. They're in that place where if you are a white main player, you have the benefit of being the only one in the game who knows how white main works, and therefore it makes it very difficult to kill you. Same with heroes like Samuro or even Murky. Oh, it's going to be Imperious. Boo! I mean, yay, Imperious, because I like Imperious, but not Murky, so darn.
It's a triple melee composition here. Johanna, Kerrigan, and Imperious, but Imperious offers enough burst to synergize with this team well enough that they might be able to get some very easy blow-ups. Now, this is single target blow-up as opposed to full team blow-up, at least until the later game where we might see good ultras to set up for several kills. But overall, it is going to be a little unusual as we are going to head back to us, although someone has knocked on our door, interestingly enough.
They'll have to wait because we're currently casting right now. So looking at these team comps, I'm a little bit worried about Church of Murky's wave clear on this map. They have Johanna, they do have a little bit from Kerrigan and a little bit from Sylvanas, but they're not necessarily wave clear heroes. I like their burst potential. I like what they can do. Because like you said, it's just you choose one person and they die. The CC from Imperious, you have Kerrigan combo into Imperious, into Johanna. They're stunned for, 3 or 4 seconds, and that's gotta feel awful.
Very true, but the counter on the other side is basically the exact same. Diablo stun into Cael'Thas stun. That's basically all they have, but Entomb to separate the rest of the team. With that much burst, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see a high 5 Lucio coming in here. But we will find out as we're going to head into game number 1, ladies and gentlemen, on the Tomb of the Spider Queen. And Jinxie, who's this on the left?
Alrighty, on the left-hand side, we have Cael'Thas Can't Spell with Crushinator on the Leoric. Stoic on that Greymane. Toons on that Lucio, Dorshi on the Diablo, and D on the Cael'Thas.
And on the right-hand side, in the orange trunks, it is the Church of Murky, with Shock playing on the Johanna, Begully, playing on the white main, Corix, playing on the Kerrigan, Orion on the Sylvanas, and Redbeard, the Pirate, is going to be playing on the Imperious, as everyone except for Leoric heads into the center lane.
Currently just trying to scout out those bushes. Leoric doesn't want anything to do with this. They're going to go straight to the soak, try and get that early XP lead. I like what they're doing. I think Church of Murky has a better early game team fight, and they don't want to step up into this.
Makes a lot of sense. Gonna back it up. Cael'Thas just dropping damage from the side. They're very afraid of Imperious, who isn't showing on the map here. In the meantime, though, the longer this does take, they are going to try and kill off Diablo here. Doors being focused down. Easy kill. That's the power of this burst composition. Longer this took, though, this wave was cleared up, and several of these minions will die. However, Redbeard is going to make it here in time for all but 1 XP globe. So honestly, not terrible for them. We are in a situation now in the game, due to the Nexus anomaly, that you can afford to take a later rotation to these lanes.
Definitely. We're going to see everybody else here just trying to clear out that Diablo. They are a little bit light on wave clear, but should be able to pick everything up. No problem. The Diablo player is back. They're going to go ahead and head down bottom. This time scouting the bushes, making sure that they're able to get their team across safely.
Going to be seeing a focus onto the Bruiser camp already from Church of Murky, making the most of that. Sylvanas at level 2 here. Overwhelming Affliction coming in here. Percentage damage. Wants to blow up that Diablo and Leoric here. Leoric consume vitality, expecting to fight a grouped up team with that triple melee.
Definitely. And is that holds your ground for Johanna at level 1?
It is.
Seeing, alrighty, getting that extra shield, making sure she's nice and healthy before the blow up can go ahead and step up.
Crushinator of Redbeard chilling. It's very much who lands their abilities. If Redbeard lands his Q, he has a very good lane. If Crushinator lands his W, it's an even better lane. So it's all about who can sight them best in that lane. And we do see a bit of a Barney in the middle. As Shock goes aggressive, Diablo's going to try and turn it around as Kerrigan comes in looking for Crushinator, who did rotate up here, but it's all a whole lot of bluster. But look at the damage numbers. No damage at all almost was done to the members of Church and Murky during that engage.
A little bit of a shame. They had a nice engage on the side of Cael'Thas can't spell, but they fought in the aura of the camp, and that's the problem. It's a spell aura, so people like Cael'Thas are going to have a really hard time struggling to get damage while that spell shield is there.
Very true. We're going to be seeing the level 4 talents are hit. Kneel Peasants coming in for Leoric. One of my favorite talents and one of my favorite talent names, as he is being bullied. Feels bad. We have Sovereign Armor as well for the Imperius here. Wants to keep himself safe. Not going to help against that percentage damage, but will help him in those bigger team fights.
Luckily for Crushinator, bottom lane doesn't matter too much on this map, and losing only one tower, so Vanas is stepping up to go back to the team, so he will have the opportunity to maybe die here. We'll see. No, Wraith walk away, gets out, and will most likely have to hard. So Vanas coming up, trying to do a little bit more damage to that middle lane. Well, meanwhile, Cael'Thas can't spell, trying to grab their own camp. Maybe they can push with it a little bit harder. They're rotating up top, so we'll get some free time in that middle lane. Oh no, Diablo!
The team's coming in from the side, though. Dorsch holding for the moment. He will survive. The tower's enough to dissuade Korix here. He's able to back away. Also, 2 level 4 talents have been held here. Johanna's and Lucio's. Now, Lucio's, I can see it. There is reason to pick the level 4 talent a little later. But Johanna's, she could have got a lot of value from that cooldown reduction or the speed by this point already.
Definitely on this map. There's also the opportunity for Sin's Exposed, getting a little bit of extra damage onto the wave. They need it a little bit. Seem to have a better wave clear than Cael'Thas can't spell. Still holding, not even picking her level 7 talent yet. What could she be scheming? Or they be scheming?
Question. It's a very good question. We're going to see Lucio pick up the party mix here. Almost finished up. He's so close. Just speed boost, dude. He's just about to finish. We'll grab that as level 7 is finally hit. Johanna's still not picking. Lucio will pick up Subwoofer, but not his level 7, and neither will Cael'Thas. Now, Cael'Thas is going to be a big deal here. We have seen Burnflesh a little bit, but of course, the extra damage on that Ignite is a little bit stronger on that living bomb. And still, no pick from Johanna.
One thing I would like to point out is we have Whitemane's version of Cleanse at level 7 while we wait for these spiders to come down. Intercession. It does grant her 1 stack of Desperation, but it should help with the Diablo, the Lucio, and the KT. We saw them take a lot of damage earlier in that mid lane. Now that should help to make sure nobody is bursted down extremely quickly.
Finally going to see the level 4 talent for Johanna to be picked, but no level 7 talent yet. Now here's where she could really miss out, because if she picks Punish and doesn't go for those stacks, when she might have had the opportunity to do them, and this is where a mistake can be made. Of course, you can also get value from the Holy Momentum. Good Wraith Wall by Crushinator to avoid Redbeard, but this is a big push in bot lane. They're going to get this fort.
Bottom fort is going to go down. Mid fort has already fallen. Not the worst thing in the world once again. Oh, it hangs on by a tick. Oh my goodness, somebody just needs to sneeze on it. One auto, a flash of light from the Johanna's Blinding Light could send it to the ground. For now, they hold on.
They're trying to get in range. Looks like the ping has happened. They're expecting someone to wrap around. Cael'Thas, by the way, did go for Burned Flesh. He wants to try and combo with that Entomb. It is the weaker talent overall, but it has great potential damage blowing up this multi-front line. There is value to be gained here. Redbeard has overextended, looking for the fort. He doesn't get it. The fort even assists in the kill, and he just helps Diablo stack up those souls.
Kind of an awkward position for Redbeard to be in there. They saw the Diablo, they kind of sup-nodded as they walked by, and then Diablo was like, wait a second, engaged on him when he was already in too much of an awkward position to get out.
Redbeard walks past in a fake in the stash, trying to sneak past it. Wait a minute, Korix is going to get away just here with the help of McGully with that extra healing. But everyone's going to survive as level 10s creep closer, a little faster right now for Church of Murky, but we're finally going to see the counter Webweaver turning from Cael'Thas can't spell, meaning they will be pushing with their level 10s as well.
We'll see where they're headed. Are they going to head to the top lane with the boss, or are they going to stay in the mid? It looks like they are going to head top lane, try and get a little bit of damage there. That is the most prioritized lane in the game. As I said earlier in the draft, once you get to, you know, the 70, 75 turns, it becomes really difficult. So that boss massively spikes in priority to end the game.
We're going to be seeing the sound barriers. Pretty standard stuff. Not going to see that cleanse against this multi-stun team. Just keeping it safe with burst protection. But speaking of burst, Pyroblast coming in for Cael'Thas. No wave clear. They have enough. They're going for blow-up potential to follow up on their hard engaging curse bullet to set up. They have that in Tomb. Looking for Shock right now. Oh, Tomb is good. Lightning Breath into it, into the easy bake oven. With the Pyroblast coming in, but Gully will be slain.
Nicely done. Danji, however, taking towers. They are going to fall down to Sylvana as Crushinator is able to pick up those gems. And with the Web Weaver running so low, they're actually going to stay, trying to get a little bit more. After she finally falls completely, though, they're going to head down. Only 1-4, but still good. Nice timing on the heroics.
They weren't actually able to get any faults. They killed the front walls, but they didn't get anything out of this.
Oh, shoot, you're right. Oops.
Feels bad. They got that kill, and they exchanged it for Diablo, but they exchanged it for Diablo's souls. Back down to 4 on this soul count, burning all but one heroic. But the same was true on the other side. Ultras was used, unable to really land. And they will just chain this together, though, and get their second Web Weaver turn. And then this is where they can try and make it work. But 50 seconds until Pyroblast is back, though.
That's all right. A lot of ultimates were burned on the side of Church of Murky as well. Everyone is in the top lane, or the middle lane, excuse me. Gonna have the Entomb come out once again. Imperius in a ton of trouble. Out comes the Blessed Shield, hitting a couple of members. Danchi all by themselves in there, trying to be healed up by Lucio. However, not enough. There was a sound barrier.
Sound barrier is up in 5 seconds. Crushinator sneaks away, but that was a 1-for-0. Dorsch focused down way too much. Will be taken out here. The Web Weavers begin to push up the other lanes. Crushinator heads down just to grab some experience globes. Will also fountain up. But either way, this looks like second Web Weaver in a row with 0 forts taken as the wave clear mission is very successful. No Souls Diablo killed off again, has finally revived. But this is the issue with losing Diablo early on. The spawn time is low, but you're wasting that time that you're wasting those souls that could be useful later on.
That's really a shame. I thought with that second turn in, they were going to be able to go ahead and get that really strong push, considering, you know, the minions were already pushing in favor of Cael'Thas can't spell. That bottom port finally goes down entirely too long. It stayed up. We'll have to see what they can do. They have 17 gems now. Meanwhile, Church of Murky has 84, and it looks like they're looking to turn in the top turn-in point.
Channeling in 45 gems on Shock. Dorsch moves forward way too late in that Fire Stomp, though. Shock is able to back out. You can see he was trying to get the angle right, trying to make sure he could follow up on it and back out in 2 safe retreat locations. But in this case, did not work out in his favor. That patience, as we see remorselessness, not remorselessness, coming in for the Sylvanas. Really trying to go for this auto attack to kill these frontliner style.
They're doing a good job. It's an engage behind. Blessed Shield is nice.
Nice little charge, out of charge from Diablo to try and escape. He will back it up. Pyroblast gonna come out to Pagully, but it's a full health. No kill will be acquired here. But the disengage was successful. Dorsch for the Fountain. Stoic will survive. Everyone will live this time as they hit their level 13s as well. And here's the Pyromaniac here. Really going in for that late game Flame Strike build.
I see them go ahead and clear that top Web Weaver, then head down to the middle, maybe help Crushinator as it is pushing in towards the keep. That's something you don't want to lose, but teams are staying. So nobody is dealing with the bottom Web Weaver. Teams are staying top. Diablo is speared. First bullet comes out. However, Dorshi is in a lot of trouble, does fall.
I'm curious about Dorshi's level 1. What did he go for here? He did go for the Devil's Due here for the Regen Globes, and it makes sense. There's globes for days on this map, but there's so much burst here. The armor might have helped him, but in this case, he's still just getting absolutely blasted as Toots focused down, and he is wiped away by another great engage by the Johanna here.
The hard thing is with the Outleoric, Diablo doesn't have a whole lot of help going in. The Lucio hasn't been jumping in with him. And so he goes in, does his best, and that is horribly out of position for the Kerrigan Imperious Spear. Cael'Thas, oh my goodness, I blinked and he was gone.
Cael'Thas level 1 is mana addict and he is stacked, but you can't use it when you're stunned here. We just need the massively quick blow up to finish the job, and this is the issue that we are seeing out of Cael'Thas can't spell. They don't have cleanse. Their only protection against anyone being blown up is Sound Barrier, which is an 80-second cooldown, and this is where we're starting to see that composition fall apart.
I'm curious if Lucio was a comfort pick, just because it was picked in the 3-4, correct? Or the 5-4. Since they got the first pick, they saw the burst coming out. They saw the Sylph, the Kerrigan, the Johanna Imperius. I'm curious why they didn't go for a more bursty healer, someone like Deckard Cain who can just throw the potion. They know Rhaegar was banned. Sukov maybe, who has that burst here button on their trade.
Sukov would have been good, and if not, someone with cleanse to try and do that. Honestly, looking at this composition, I know burst healing is what we were complaining about here, but seeing how much CC is coming out, I wouldn't have even hated Brightwing here. With that multi-man cleanse, if she's able to stay safe, and the big burst heal, if they are able to stay alive long enough, it might have worked in their favor.
Brightwing did get buffed, so they have burst at 13, I think it is. Also, there's the burst.
Level 7 burst healing.
Oh, is it the level 7 burst healing? I can't remember what the burst talent is. Webweaver's coming down into this bottom lane. Black Arrows is out, and this should be the bottom keep falling. Dorsey, once again, stuck, silence. Break It Down comes out. They are in the back line, couldn't escape from that body block. Lucio jumping in to save their front also goes down.
Chrysalis used by Corix to reset the aggro that was on him from the keep, survived easily with 2 members dead. Webweaver's charging in all 3 lanes. This is not looking good for Cael'Thas can't spell. They are about to hit level 16 if they live, as we do see the focus coming onto that mid lane. Webweaver will finish that off. Top lane starting to get weakened down. This is starting to look pretty bad. 10 seconds left for everyone to respawn. Core sending out those dark waves. Good damage to the Gully. Enough for a kill. It too, but no follow-up here. There's nothing to be done here. The shield of the Core, though, still up. Stoic grabbing the gems. Risky play here. Trying to hold it. Shock has massively overextended, though. He will be killed. Can they hold this? Core is going down so fast, though. There's so many minions, dude. That's gonna be it. The minions will finish off the Core, and game number 1 will go over to the Church of Murky.
Nicely done by both teams. I know we were a little bit stressed about the healer, but Tomb of the Spider Queen is such a difficult map to come back on, so I really have to give it to Cael'Thas Can't Spell. It looked like there might have been some hope there at the end. The Pyroblast was nice. I really liked the idea, but in the end, they said, you know what? We don't care about your back line. We'll just focus onto the front line. And all that front line damage, it was just more than poor Diablo could take.
It was too much, like you said. So here, you are a tank expert. I am not in the slightest way uncomfortable calling you that, because you are. So do you feel the Soul Shield might have been more value here?
I would have liked to see the Soul Shield just based on the fact that it would provide some respite from... Because, I mean, a lot of this damage that came out was spell damage. The Imperius, the Sylvanas, the Kerrigan, those are all abilities going out. I think it would have helped a lot, especially once you get those souls stacked up. I think you get about 75% spell armor. 75% spell armor, that's against the Banshee's Curse, that's against the Kerrigan combo, that's against the Ultralisk. I think it really would have paid off to have that spell shield. However, looking at this composition, if I was a competent Diablo player, I probably would have also gone for the Devil's Due. I think it is kind of a hindsight thing. Next time they'll know. And now I know that if I see a combo like this, I should pick Spell Shield. The real problem came out, I think, from Redbeard's level 1. 2.5% per tick of consuming Valorous Bland. That's up to, what is that, 7% of your health every third ability? That feels awful.
It absolutely melts, dude. It's so hard to deal with. And with Imperius multi-man stuns, percentage damage from Sylvanas as well, 1% on each auto attack at level 1 with slows on top of that. And then, of course, the massive Kerrigan burst with kinetic fulmination. They have so much damage. And then you have an 80-second cooldown saving button. And with all of these abilities, the cooldowns maybe maximum 20 seconds on any of those abilities. That's probably too generous for any of them. That's a situation where you can't really turn it round. And as such, Church of Murky takes game at number 1, and we will wait to see what the next map is.
Looks like It says lobby, but I don't know if that's...
Not ours. That is Goose's versus Division.
I was looking at Crushinator and Redbeard. It looks like they are
Nice. You're
custom
right.
game
My bad.
right now.
You are correct.
All right, thank you. I love this shirt. I got it in London.
It was wonderful. Camden Market. It's so cute, dude.
Thank
Absolutely
you.
love
Yeah, it's very sweet. I don't
Yeah.
have the belt on right now. It's got a
Yeah.
belt that comes with it. You can see it's just dangling.
She went all the way to Camden for a beautiful shirt. I got this in Walmart.
I mean,
But
it's still nice.
I like it. It's super cute. I own 2 NASA shirts now, dude, because space is sick, bruh. All right, let's ask who picked map. Who picked map, please? Question mark. So do we know? The map, by the way, and we will show you a visual representation of this in but a moment, is Sky Temple. First pick was, by the looks of it, chosen by the church, by Cael'Thas Can't Spell, meaning, as I will demonstrate now, the Church of Murky did pick Sky Temple as our second map of this series. And as a heads up to everyone, as I didn't say at the start, this is a double feature today. Once we are done with this game number 1, we have another series coming right after it, and that is going to be Probus Drift. And they are, which is a fantastic name. Sorry, Probus Drift Cannon Rush, because there's 2 Probus teams, versus I Must Feed. They've been very nice, saying that if we overrun a little bit, they will be patient and wait for us, which is very kind. If not, we will head to a break in between the series, and we'll jump back in when that series starts. It will be happening at minimum 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So there you go, which is in 1 hour from now. For those of you not on the Mountain Times, or we're not even on the Mountain Time, technically, we're just in Phoenix, where time is irrelevant.
I mean, it's technically mountain time, but yeah, it just syncs up with the rest of the world. So.
Phoenix has the right idea of to be clear, sorry, Arizona had bits of Arizona has
this
the
is
right
just too
idea.
complicated. Time is good where I live.
Yes, bits of Arizona have abolished daylight saving times, which is good and correct, because daylight savings is ridiculous. So, yes, hopefully we are good. Alrighty, casters are...
Alright, just waiting on Cael'Thas Can't Spell. Now, we're going to Sky Temple. Do we maybe see a Juice Pirates come out?
I mean, there's a better map for Murky. If we
That's
were to see
fair.
it's a little harder for him to stack his Q, but he can still get really good push value with the pufferfish, so it is nice to see that if it does come up. I doubt it, but we'll see. Juice Pirates, though, the potential is there. Like I said, it's probably the best map for it outside of maybe Tomb, actually. Maybe Tomb is the other good one.
No, Tomb is so small, they can run back and defend easily.
Also another good one, then.
Oh, gosh. What else? We used to run it on Blackheart's Bay, which I totally forgot was a map today until I played it on Weenus' birthday stream, and then, like, Blackheart's came out, and I was like, oh. Oh, yeah, that's the thing. But we're going to go ahead and start our Sky Temple draft.
Alrighty, we're heading in. J-How, thank you for the raid of 109. We are heading into the draft of our NGS match. It is Cael'Thas Can't Spell versus Church of Murky. Ladies and gentlemen, we're into the draft, and luckily no one's picked anything, so you've missed nothing. Hello viewers of J-How, welcome to the stream. We are playing from some NGS matches. This is Division D East with Cael'Thas Can't Spell versus Church of Murky. Church of Murky currently 1-0 up. I am Tetcher, and this next to me is Jigsaw, who you can't see but you can hear. And we are heading into game number 2. Feels good.
Hello, J-How and J-How family. We're waiting. ETC was banned out once again. Get the cow out of here. We don't want anything to do with him. And Greymane taken away this time. Apparently that cursed bullet was a little bit too much. We saw it do some big chunks on Tomb of the Spider Queen last game. They don't want the Cael'Thas Can't Spell to have it again. So they're just going to say, you know what? Goodbye. Also prevents Juice Pirates.
Very true. It's one of the best heroes for Juice Pirates, so like you said, taking that away is a big deal. So Cael'Thas still available. Do we see meme bans at this point? We will find out. Either way, Greymane removed, ETC removed. What do we see next? What was fearful on the other team? Sylvanas, that is fair.
I can definitely understand the Sylvanas. It was irritating and pushing down those forts so easily. Just, it feels unfair, man. You're watching it, you're under your fort trying to defend, their whole team's there, and you're like, bruh. 10 seconds of black arrows, come on now.
Also another hero who works with Juice Pirates, so seeing that taken away makes a lot of sense. And here goes the most sensible ban so far. Zul will be taken away.
First pick once again going over to Cael'Thas can't spell, so we are going to see... We could see the Johanna here, and there it is.
Johanna with the first ban. Division D, what does that mean? So NGS has a set division, with the highest being Heroic Division and the lowest being Division E. So there's still some very good players in here. We're talking along the lines of anywhere from bronze to gold, I'd say, is a pretty safe ratio. Plat's probably a good stretch as well.
Gold plat? Okay, I could definitely see that.
I think so. Anywhere in that ratio. Anubarak gonna be popping up as a first pick here. That is unusual to see that being picked up so quickly, considering there are some other really good tanks available. Some Malfurion as well to go with it, leaving Rhaegar available? This is weird. So this should be Rhaegar and probably Reyna or someone like that. That should be a pretty safe pickup at this stage. Good on the map, and he just melts Anubarak. I would love to see Reyna here.
Reyna would be really strong. This is coming to be a very strong draft from Cael'Thas can't spell. And there it is. You called it. I'd like to talk about the Anubarak and the Malfurion just for a second. It's a nice combo it sets up, but I can't help but wonder, is it just a comfort pick? Now the ETC and the Johanna are gone. They are the S tier tanks right now, but you still have people like Mal'Ganis, who was the other one that I was going to say? Garrosh, he's very high up. If you're feeling very spicy, you can do an Uther tank, because Uther's more of a tank than a support at this time. They're all going to be taken away right now. Great on the map, does well into heroes like Imperius.
It's true. With the only argument I can see for maybe picking up a Anubarak so early is they're intending to pick Li Ming, because Li Ming is so good into Anubarak, even though you'd feel it should be the other way around, but Disintegrate into Cocoon is decent. Or they're going for a very old HGC draft with Anubarak Maiev, where they go for Containment Disc Cocoon and eliminate 2 people in a fight and go for a 5v3.
Oh, don't remind me of those days. They're so toxic. We played against it so much. I'm like, oh, there's a Anubarak. Guess we're just going to die. Imperius picked away. Those spirits were just too good last game. Or not picked away, I'm sorry, banned away. They don't want anything to do with that Imperius. Get him out of here. Tassadar Falstad, interesting.
Their wave clear is off the frickin' chain, but both of these heroes are very mana hungry, so Malfurion's going to have to go double time on the Innovate, which does explain his very early pickup in this draft to guarantee they have that mana battery. And of course, on this map, Falstad Global is big time money.
I'd like to see them use the Falstad Global instead of doing what I like to do, where we have the Falstad and we could gank and then he just stays in one lane all game. So hopefully they're a little bit better than I am. Cael'Thas, once again, respect. And Sonya coming out. I really love the Cael'Thas can't spell draft. I think this is a very strong draft full of very top tier heroes. Sonya does phenomenal in the lane. If it's against a Falstad, he'll be crying into his Griffin. We should see what the other solo laner is if it isn't that Falstad. Or I guess it could be Tassadar, but I feel like his potential is wasted in the solo lane.
I like this draft from Cael'Thas too, but my issue is, as our Tannis comes in, we'll talk about that in a second. My issue with the Cael'Thas draft is it's built as a quick match draft, as in this is a good composition we can run on any map with no actual play map potential. All they have is a really good solo laner in the form of Sonya, and Reyna can kill the Guardians, but everything else just works everywhere without any benefit. Whereas Church of Murky, their draft is actually playing the map. Cael'Thas can't spell, they look like they've drafted for Infernal Shrines.
I like the Cael'Thas can't spell draft. There was a whole thing about the team that has the simpler execution usually wins the game. And I think a simple draft like this is fine. You press Bloodlust, and you go. Raynor can shoot down the Cocoon. He can shoot down the Anubarak.
Very true.
Johanna can cause a lot of disruption in the backline, and Cael'Thas is just throwing down AoE everywhere with Sonya to follow suit. Whereas the Church of Murky, they've got all these bells and whistles, Gust and Suppression Pulse and Twilight Dream. Make sure you don't overlap them. It just seems like it's a lot of burden of execution, that's the term.
That is the term. We'll be seeing which team is able to execute their draft the best as we head into game number 2. And on the left-hand side, currently looking to catch up, it will be Cael'Thas Can't Spell. With Stoic on that Raynor, we have D on the Cael'Thas. We have Dorsch playing on that Johanna, Tunes on the Rhaegar, and Crashinator is going to be on the Sonya. I thought it was Johanna again for a second, my bad.
And over on the right-hand side, in the orange trunk, Shocked on that Anubarak, Coryxa on that Artanis, Orion on the Falstad, Redbeard on the Tassadar, and Begully on that Malfurion.
Going to be heading into the center of the map. Mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is not our last series of the day. We have one coming up after this, Pro Bus Drift Cannon Rush versus I Must Feed. But for now, let's see if we go to a game 3. We're going to be seeing pretty standard these days. Wingman coming in for Falstad. This is a good map for it.
Nice. They went ahead and left the... I don't think they went to the Vision. They just went, cleared the camp or the minions, and now they're on their way bottom to do the exact same thing. And with so much wave clear, they get it done easily enough.
They clean that up, wiping out that bottom wave. But you can see Church of Murky a little bit slower on their rotation. We're seeing the value of Cael'Thas in a 4-man rotation here. This is the idea. Feed him globes as much as possible.
Yeah, he's already up to 3, and they don't want to try and fight it all, which is a little bit what Church of Murky's draft is centered around. Sonya bullying Coryx up here in the top lane, just trying to get as much as she can done, while Falstad and Begully go ahead and take this early bruiser camp, which will hamper her push just a tad.
Using barrel roll for that shield here for Orion to try and clear that camp a little bit better. It's going to be relying very heavily on Innovate, though, most likely. This is not an efficient camp clearing duo at all.
Yeah, I just watched the Hammerang go between all of them. Oh, T2ers.
Detours, where did that happen? I assume down here.
Yeah, it looks like they tried to get an invade, would have had killed the Anubarak really quickly, and now they're going to get both camps, and I really like this.
Yeah, they grabbed their own while this team was Church of Murky was doing top. We did see the Cael'Thas Can't Spell doing their own Siege Giant camps, and like you said, they grabbed both now, leaving Redbeard to clean this up. He has gone for the static charge here. Pretty normal talents here. As we see, finally, Cael'Thas Can't Spell standing on their camp. And this is a much more sensible camp duo. This works way better.
Yeah, they're going to be able to clear it easily enough. Nice AoE from both members. Healing for both of them. They can go ahead. We do have the lightning build coming out from Rhaegar, so there will be ticks every time he hits somebody with his lightning shield. And now they're just going to be able, with their camp, to push in top.
Extra pressure there, but no one pushing with it. It's just giving time for Coryx to back up and grab a little bit of health, a little bit of mana. He is, by the way, gone for Protector of Ire, looking for that auto attack quest. 0.1 on 0.1, sorry, on attacks on heroes and 1% on kills. That is a lot of potential damage. He's already up to 36 stacks. Not bad.
I have to give him credit. I watched a stream the other day on Bahamut's channel where they had an Artanis on Sky Temple, actually, who went for the Protector of Ire. And I think at 8 minutes and level 10, they had 18 stacks. And I was like, 8 minutes in and you've only attacked an enemy hero 18 times. What are you doing?
It's a little bit rough. Shock going to be backing away. Electric Fence coming in there. Nicely done. Coryx dueling with Crashinator, forcing him back. See a little bit of extra damage onto the point, but right now mid is being held completely by Cael'Thas Can't Spell. Late rotation up the top by Church of Murky to match. That might mean they lose some shots here if we see the rotation and invade.
This should be just a trade since Cael'Thas Can't Spell. And I see we have a question in chat. Is NGS NA exclusive currently? Yes, it is right now. I don't know if they have any plans to go to the EU just yet.
It's NA exclusive for teams, but you can have EU players on your roster, and there are several teams that do.
going to see Cael'Thas can't spell, jump up here, try and take the last of this temple. And since they do have, it looks like both teams have level 7, but Church of Murky is a little bit low, and Cork's taking a little bit of damage from that Flame Strike. They're just going to give it up. Not worth it. Falstad is soaking down middle lane. They'll be fine to trade the XP for the last little bit of that temple.
Yeah, Falstad is soaking, grabbing stacks. In fact, let's mess this up almost certainly and see how many stacks he has. Yep, knew I got the wrong one. There we go. 55 stacks, 2 stacks right now of Wingman, and perfect timing, unless... Is someone rotating? Here comes Stoic. Rumbled. Rhaegar's on the way as well. Orion on his way out, and he will get out of here without dying, but he will be denied those extra stacks of Wingman.
Oh, man, they knew. It's just like Stoic could smell it. He's like, I see what you're doing. They're going to go ahead and clear. Other camp is available should Church of Murky want to take it, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. And it is going to be a little bit of a skirmish. In one of the lanes, they're eyeing each other up, sizing up, trying to see if they can't posture.
Both teams holding on the point. Artanis, by the way, Solarite Reaper going for split, going for massive push style damage onto Redbeard. Living Bomb will not spread here, but Shot goes very deep for this, looking for some setup, but no one's in range to do the damage needed. Sonic Echo coming in here for Tassadar, double storm style.
Hershey looks like they could be potentially in a little bit of trouble. They step back, and the Iron Skin has to be popped. They do get stunned, and now they're looking very low. Falstad barrel rolls, and can they get the kill? They cannot, so they're just going to have to back up.
They will back away. Shock, by the way, has gone for sustain team fights here. Chitinous plating plus shed exoskeleton. This is shield build with the regen master on level 1. He does try to escape, but he cancels his burrow charge a little early there. Had a better chance of escaping if he'd let that go to completion.
Now with the 1 Siege Giant, never mind. They're still going to try and push. This tower is hanging on by the skin of its teeth. It shouldn't be long with the extra range from Stoic on that Rainer. Tassadar helping out, making sure those minions don't stay healthy.
Level 10 already available for Cael'Thas can't spell. Standard stuff across the board. No leap, it is Wrath of the Berserker, which again is slightly more standard here. And finally, we see him picked up for Church of Murky.
All right, it's standard stuff all across. Just like you said, it is going to be Bloodlust. But it is Black Hole from Tassadar. Excellent point, Tetcher.
Excellent point by going, ooh.
I did. I wasn't even paying
caster.
attention. I was looking. I was looking at the Bloodlust. Just. What are they going to do? They're going to have to make sure not to overlap because they have. So far, 3 abilities. 4 if you want to just drop the cocoon on the Rainer to stop the biggest Bloodlust target, the person who gets the most benefit. Looks like, spicy boss play from Cael'Thas can't spell.
Shock sees it. This would be a decent cocoon opportunity. It will pick it up. Falstad is here. They're not scouting the bush. This could be it. Hyperion comes out. They get it. There's a nice shot, but Shock will delay. Barrel roll. Gust. It's good. Rhaegar though lunges in, but he's pulled out by the black hole. Nicely done by Tassadar. Boston shuts it down. And that is a 2 for 3. 3 for 3. It's a massacre. D's out. Crushinator's out. It's only the melees on the side of Church of Murky, but they clutch. Get it. It looked doomed after that gust, but Rhaegar feral lunged in from the side and then was carried out on the black hole, giving that boss over to Church of Murky.
Popping that Iron Skin so early was definitely the downfall. They had to know that. The setup. Oh, the Trollnado gets him locked in. Yeah, they had to know, right? Like this could happen. They had to look at the ults and say, we're on the throw pit. They have to they can shut down our Bloodlust. They have Gust, and then they have Black Hole, which can also push us off. What if we all just ran everywhere and didn't prep for that? It kind of felt like.
Yeah, I mean they put up a very good predictive gravity lapse from Cael'Thas to try and shut down Falstad, but it didn't work out as Blessed Shield is dropped onto Shock, who has extended really far. There is the cocoon onto the Rhaegar. They're trying to steal this. Living Bomb is currently on Korik's Black Hole Gust, and they get it again. They overlap them exactly like you said earlier, but they're gonna get Crushinator and the camp out of this. So 2 heroics for that. I'm gonna call that worth.
Yeah, they did spend, or most of the heroics were either on cooldown or spent in that fight, and there's definitely a reason they call this boss the throw pit. They were nicely ahead, and I think Cael'Thas can't spell just bit off a little bit more than they could chew. So now they're going to lose this. Maybe Hyperion comes out and chases away. All right, the Hyperion was enough. Never mind. Yeah. I'm full of crap. Down in the bottom lane, we see Rhaegar finally heading down to try and pick up that XP as well as get those Siege Giants.
He has gone for that Earth Shield here, so he's able to tank the minions while clearing that up, and as such, the wave is cleared nicely. Meantime, though, sneaky cap steal. Orion heads over the wall. Everyone is over the wall except for Redbeard, who doesn't have that ability here. Begoli actually walked around, but in this case, we're going to see trades out here. We're probably going to see top lane going down for Church of Murky, Cael'Thas grabbing that. Whereas on the other side, we are seeing Cael'Thas' bottom 4 being taken, as Church of Murky do control middle point. And we're going to see both teams beginning to focus onto tier 2s.
All right, Artanis is pushing top. We see Sonya did back to try and deal with Artanis and that camp. It's really a struggle for Cael'Thas can't spell now. The Wrath of the Berserker was popped, short cooldown. They will just use it to go ahead and clear this. Maybe look for the Artanis should they choose to stay, but they are not going to head back. And they're just being pulled all over the map. They're looking for the team. They know that they have to rotate even further back, not having those tier 1 forts anymore.
Full whirlwind build here. Ruthless coming in here. Ryan's already barrel roll, piecing out for his TB. Has Gus though available. Might have to use it here and will do so. Counters out the bloodlust, but Corix was caught a little bit here. Black Hole to try and disengage. Is this the plan? Just disengage from the bloodlust comp? They do lose Corix, but considering that could have got worse for him.
That's exactly what you have to do. Gust him away, blind him. The blind didn't hit Raynor, which was the main target of the Bloodlust, and that's why we ended up seeing Corix fall down. And I honestly think that it would be worth it to hit just the Raynor, even though you would only get 2 members, one of them being the Cael'Thas. Now, with the 4v5, we are going to see Cael'Thas can't spell try to take this bruiser camp. It looks like they most likely will succeed as the team backs up.
Yep.
Just going to give it over.
5v3. Good to steal that away. By the way, I just wanted to point out Graviton Vortex here for the Artanis. Reduces the mana cost of phrase by from 50 to 25. And hitting enemy hero with basic attacks or Blade Dash reduces the cooldown of Vaporism by 1.75. A kind of sleeper talent, but in terms of picks, which is what they're going to be needing to maybe pick out some of these backline members like D, not a terrible choice.
They'll have that Phase Prism up even more often. They'll just be able to swap to their Heart's Content, so maybe if you do accidentally grab like a Sonya or a Johanna, you can go ahead, get that CDR, and then just try again before the fight's even over.
Interesting talent synergy here. Burn Flesh instead of Sun Fury, and we instead get Ignite coming in. So we're seeing a little bit of sort of anti-synergy. It's still relying on people to group up, but you're missing out on some of that really good Ignite damage that you get at level 3. So it's interesting to see that little pickup here. It's still going to synergize all of this with Flamethrower at level 20 though.
Definitely. All the teams right now just trying to go ahead and clear their lanes best they can so they can fight over this temple. This is the only temple this time round, so they are going to have to fight over it. We see Sonya in the bush had to back up due to that Tassadar vision, and Wrath of the Berserker is popped. She's in. They're ready to go. Out comes the Roots, hitting no one.
Trying to hold it, but Kakuma's using the backline. Cael'Thas is out of this fight, but they're not going to go Crushinator yet. Black Hole comes out. Will keep Rhaegar out of there with the Force Wall as well, though. They focus Crushinator, but under a bit of catch him, though. Redbeard doing some good damage. There's the Bloodlust. Can they turn it around? There's the Gust, and it's a solid disengage. Heroic Burn on every side. All that's available left is the Pyroblast, which was dropped onto the 10-second cooldown, and the Twilight Dream, not used yet in this fight. Storm comes out. They're going to try and retake this. Storm lands onto a Redbeard who's focused that Twilight Dream. Great turnaround, though, as they focus onto Crushinator. Corix, he's left alone, though. He can't focus his shock. Does he have his shield? Yes, he does. He will tank through, but Corix has taken out.
Corix goes down, and there we see, once again, just the dysfunction in the heroic choices of Church of Murky. We saw the suppression pulse didn't hit anybody because it came out at the same time as the Gust. We saw the Black Hole come out, and it did get the Rhaegar, but I don't feel like it did much outside of that. Corix was knocked down. I have to question also the Pyroblast onto the Anubarak. It's kind of made for mage breaking.
Oh, they're trying again. Gust is up in 1 second. Wait for the wall to go down. They gust it, but Dorsch holds with the Iron Skin. This time, he learned from his mistakes and times it perfectly. Falstad gets evaporated by Sonya, who's spinning to win and chasing him down. Big Gully, the only one left. He can't hold that as Cael'Thas can't spell, looking to take us to a third game.
I really love the gumption from the side of Church of Murky. They did their best. Ultimately, nice play by Dorsch, able to save the day. And with this boss, we could be looking at game. 30 seconds on Tassadar, 18 seconds on both Falstad and Anuva Rack. This keep is definitely going to go down. And Corex and Bigully, they don't really have the tools to stop a push as big as this.
6 seconds on Falstad, 15 on Tassadar. They've got to race this down. That's a fantastic blind there by Artanis, but the core is being absolutely deleted. It's a valiant defense, but not enough, as Cael'Thas can't spell are taking us to our third game.
Very nicely done by both teams. Excited to see game number 3.
Nicely done. That was crazy. Cael'Thas can't spell, finally capitalizing, like you said, the anti-synergy in some of those heroics. We saw one good blind, and it's when the core was dying at the end there. Unlucky to see, but either way, Cael'Thas can't spell, taking us to a game number 3, which means I'm very quickly going to inform our players. In fact, I will bring us to the talent screen so that you can talk people through some important talents, anything that catches your eye, while I tell the players that we're going to be a little bit behind.
Did they start at 7 or 7:30? I thought it was 7:30.
Is it 7:30? You're probably right.
Because we were worried about an hour and a half.
It's 7.
It is 7.
Because we started at 5:30.
Okay.
So yes, we're going to be potentially a wee bit late. So yes, would you like to talk about some of the what catches your eyes here?
So right now I want to point out we have the Burning Rage talent on Johanna, making sure that if she's going to keep those players close, she's going to get some extra damage. Not the typical talent you see, but I think it paired very well considering they were able to keep the team in close quarters for the most part. I think the Ignite did really well because Tetcher Murky really struggled spreading those bombs in the late game, especially since they had to clump up often to capitalize on some of those heroics. Everything else looking pretty standard. We didn't get to see too many bribes on Orion's Falstad.
Very true. We didn't see any big bribe plays. We saw like single bribes every now and again, 1 or 2 minions. But in this case, nothing too spectacular, as we do see the victory, of course. There was the gust was fantastic. The boss steal was good. Every gust, in fact, was pretty money. It's just everyone else synergizing with it.
Definitely. There needed to be a little bit of communication there. Maybe, okay, I'll throw this, and then you throw that. Or if I say that we need something, consider it. I think it just came down to, once again, executing that comp. Tetcher Murky had a really difficult comp to execute. What are we going to do? We're going to push them away? Well, then now our silence is useless. Now our blind is useless. Now, you know, it's just everybody had a heroic that kind of did the same thing, and everybody had the same idea all at once, and it just ended up falling apart for them. Now that we've got a series on our hand, I'm excited to tell everybody that our final map of the evening will be Towers of Doom.
Very true. I have not updated the thing, so let's do that quickly. Team 2 was picked, so this is the map choice of Cael'Thas Can't Spell. As you can see here, Cael'Thas Can't Spell picking up the map as first pick was finally getting it in this series, taken by the Church of Murky. You can see right now maps that were banned out: Battlefield, Cursed, Infernal Shrines, and Volskaya Foundry, with Sky Temple being won by Cael'Thas Can't Spell, and Church of Murky picking up the Tomb of the Spider Queen, as Towers of Doom will be our final map of this series before we head into our second series of the day.
I love a good Towers map to end things. It just feels really nice, you know, go see the team fight potential of both teams, see how well they can dominate those bottom lanes, try and get those camps. It really comes down to, I think, a lot of microplay from the teams and using their time effectively.
Very true. We will see if they're able to turn that round in the third map. Just quickly, BPX Thrall, thank you very much for the follow. If you're enjoying the show, maybe drop a follow so you can see when we go live with more Heroes action. You can also catch me on Tuesday, starting the 7th, on some lovely EU games. And, of course, if you're really enjoying and want to support your caster, maybe consider dropping a subscription for the lovely show you are watching today. You'll get access to some beautiful emotes, some of them, in fact, made by the wonderful Alarak of the Storm, the Hots High Lord himself. So, we have everyone up. I haven't told them that I am ready. Caster R, so that they know we are ready, and we'll be able to jump into game number 3, hopefully very shortly. Cael'Thas can't spell ready. We're getting ready, team. Soon we will be beginning. Our hair is being eaten. It happens.
I gotta tell my sister that my puppers is hungry. She needs to have some food. I can see her cocking her
That
head
might be
at
where
me.
they're knocking on the door. Is her bowl in here?
Her bowl is in here.
That might be why they were knocking on the door. That would explain a lot.
Either that or they want to give us another snake that will yeet itself out of its container.
That is true. I mean, I was about to say we could show it on the stream, but it's green. It will just disappear.
Yeah, I
Hang
thought about showing it too, but it's the fact that it's got like lightning boots, despite
I'm
being
not
a
getting
snake.
it out, but maybe it can be seen through there if you like.
Oh, I can look and see. He's in a
It's
Tupperware right
gonna
now.
be
Oh, the
eaten.
game is starting.
We'll jump into the sec.
Alright, you can,
Yeah,
you can
I got
kind of see him
tilde.
on the side.
Yeah, but he's invisible.
Oh no!
You just see his
Poor
eye.
little guy.
Alright, we're going to head into the draft, ladies and gentlemen, for game number 3 of our best of 3 series for our first series of the night. Alrighty, we are into the draft, and already we see a Johanna removed as the first ban by the Church of Murky. Cael'Thas can't spell with the second ban in this series. And thank you very much, TBL Lunara, for the sub. 18 months worth of subscription. Thank you very much. Very appreciated.
BTC and Johanna banned away, so now we are going to see the more interesting tank picks coming out. Once again, I'll go through the list, even though I'm starting to sound like a broken record at this point. Morgana's super OP right now. Garrosh also the same. Spicy Uther plays. We could maybe see Azul slip through the cracks since it is Church of Murky's first pick, so it is the responsibility of Cael'Thas can't spell to ban that Zool. And we see the Sylvanas picked away. Very strong on the map. You get that bottom fort with the Sylvanas, and there isn't a whole lot you can do. It just feels awful.
Very true. With Sylvanas banned away, that leaves the options a little bit more open. It was also real good in the game number 1, so taking that away makes a lot of sense.
Stoic saying, what's wrong with you people? And the Greymane banned away, so the Zool is up.
Zool sneaking through. Deganis, thank you very much for the follow. Will your follow be the premonition of a Zool? It is a Zool getting picked up first by the Church of Murky.
All right, what do we see in response to the Zool? I saw that some teams were testing out like Zagara in the solo lane to counter Zool. It hasn't worked as far as I've seen, but like maybe Zagara mains know something that I don't.
Rhaegar, Raider, first pickups here. Johanna, one of the biggest blind heroes, has been removed, so that potential is already up and running. Lots of potential value coming in there. So already looking good, as long as they can stay out of range of the Zool, who still has that massive attack speed slow.
Definitely. It is going to be up to the Zool to step up, though. None of those Zools like to hide in the back and press one button, that being their spectral scythe. Arthas! All right, GG. Good luck next. No, I love Arthas. Best hero in the game.
So this is 100% counter-committing to countering auto-attack builds like the Bloodlust Rhaegar composition. The problem is they've shown this commitment so early that now Cael'Thas can't spell can just pick the Cael'Thas and go for an Ancestral Healing composition and still get value out of this, or of course probably a hero percentage damage to have a much better game. Mephisto would have actually worked pretty well for them as well, but it's a good removal nevertheless.
Mephisto is just irritating to play against, spooking around, dealing all that damage. Get him out of here. I really love the Zool Arthas Stukov. I think it's very strong. It is shock on the Arthas, so we might see a tank Arthas. That's what I'm predicting. Cael'Thas banned away here. It's done so well for them in the last 2 games. We'll have to see what else D can play. But going back to the Stukov Zool Arthas, I really like it because you can just set up a root, follow it up with a root, and a silence. You've basically got your build your own buried alive.
Very true, very true. There's Li Ming with Cael'Thas gone, picking up a different mage. D very clearly a mage preferred player. And Muradin as their main tank here. Let's a little bit of setup. Disengage potential if they really want to go for some power plays. Might be interesting to see.
I like the Muradin. I think it's very difficult for the Arthas to engage with the Muradin on the other team just because they have to choose. Do they want to set up and slow the backline? Do they want to make sure that Raynor doesn't get as much value? Or do they stop back and protect their backline? Do they want to make sure that their team can step up? Maiev Lunara. This is a very strong team from Church of Murky.
I'm concerned where the finisher potential comes in because they have a whole lot of setup. They have 3 setups and no finisher. Maiev's going to have to take the role of the finisher here, and I'm concerned she's going to be able to do that. And the fact is, Cael'Thas Can't Spell could pick Uther off lane here and give themselves that double healer potential to try and deal with Lunara damage, and I would not hate it. Especially if they went Q build. They don't know. They're going to stick with Yrel. More disengage potential, more disruption, and someone who can really hold against either Zool or Arthas well enough.
I really like the Yrel. I think that was a very smart pickup by Crush and Air. That Hand of Freedom is going to come in so clutch. They get it at level 4, so they'll have it nice and early. Rhaegar does have a cleanse, so they'll have lots of ways to get out of the lockdown of Church of Murky. Like you said, Maiev is going to have to dive pretty deep to try and finish off those kills. Lunara's damage, it's over time, so it's more of, instead of killing them, you just make them go away and force them to heal up so you can get what you want.
Very true. So, with all of these pickups here, so far a much more standard draft from Cael'Thas Can't Spell. But if Maiev can be that finisher, I do have a little bit of faith in Church of Murky. But just in terms of pure standardness, I do have to lean more towards Cael'Thas Can't Spell because they can just do Ancestral and play normally.
That is very true. The Wave of Force should help to stop that disengage. Along with, they've got so much here. They've got the Yrel knockbacks. They have the Muradin stuns. There's a lot to deal with the engage. Hand of Freedom, cleanse, like I said. Everybody blows everything all at once. They'll have to wait a couple of seconds before they can go back in and try again. And by then, you know, your Li Ming and your Raynor could be popping off. As an Arthas main myself, I hate playing Arthas into Raynor. He just sits there. I'm like, come on! Go away! Stop autoing me!
Well, we'll see if this Raynor can land his autos, as Stoic is on that Raynor once again. Crushinator on Yrel, Toons on Rhaegar, D on the Li Ming this time, and Dorsh is going to be playing on the Muradin, and they are Cael'Thas Can't Spell.
And Church of Murky on the right is going to be Korix on that Maiev, Shock on that Arthas, Redbeard is the Zool, Ryan on that Lunara, and Begully rocking that Stukov.
Korix backs away. Dorsh takes a little bit of pressure. Arthas, if only he had his level 4 talent now, because he'd be getting a lot of stacks as he doesn't die. Begully with the silence. Toons, he was thinking about the chase, but Shock will get away. Angry dog.
He wants it, but he's not going to be able to get it. They're going to go up. Everybody completely missing the Wisp until Dorsey picks it up.
I am infuriated. Arthas literally just picked his level 1 talent and he picked Frost Presence, meaning that he lost all that potential for stacks at level 1.
I thought you were about to advocate for debuild and I was going to have to leave right now.
No, the fact, like, in this case, I mean, Rhyme would have been terrible, is the other option here, but in this case, he picks that talent, but he doesn't pick it at the gate. He picks it after being chased by the enemy team, where he's already dropped his W once. I'm a little mad. Use your abilities.
Yeah, they've been holding on to their talents, and like I can understand holding 10s and 7s for things like cleanse and which ultimate you're going to use, but I'm not understanding the holding of the level 1 and the level 4 talents. You go in, and no one's ever been like, oh, based on the whole shit, that's going to change the game.
Yeah, the best the best players should obviously only pick their abilities when they are 100% needed, and they should quick pick them. Problem is, this is an ability that should have been quick picked and already have value. Right now it sits at 0 stacks where he could have had more at the start.
I definitely got two right there, but I agree they got a pretty good route early on, which is what almost ended the life of. Actually, it was Arthas that almost died, so never mind, that doesn't stack up. They're going to get 2 of those sappers in, dealing a little bit of damage. Team has to bounce away. Dor's taking a ton of damage. They have no mana. They're going to have to tap before this fight, which could pose a problem for them, as they won't have it to go back to in the next couple of seconds.
Dorsh gonna get focused in on. Oh, the Tether pulls it out the route. No more stacks for Arthas there. And Dorsh able to get away there, kind of pulled out danger. It's gonna be an off-lane build for Zool. So W build is if you're main tank, but in this case, like you mentioned, main tank is playing the Arthas here. So Arthas will be the main hero here, and we'll likely be seeing a Decrepify build coming in with Reaper's Toll for the Zool.
Huh. What's the level 1 for Zool? It's not
It is Shackler. Going for the extra slows here. It's decent. The main value here is it reduces the cooldown of bone armor, whereas the backlash actually increases the cooldown of bone armor, making you actually less tanky. This is good for setting up for Lunara, and that's why they picked it.
I think it's the autos that increases the timer, not the backlash. The backlash is the percent damage.
You are correct. Yes, I am.
I'm curious as to why they chose that, especially going into your row. All these thick, tanky members, Murden especially, it's just a health pool with a stun. Oh no, Dorse is in so much trouble.
He holds though, and Shock is living your nightmare right now as Raider just autos away. Orion tries to wrap in from the side. Shots are taken in top lane, both teams trading 1-for-1. But this is just a very long, drawn-out fight here. But the Fountain has been used by Shock, and he's trying to make the most of it. Moves in, but where's the team following up? Korix is very far out, and Orion is focusing a lot more on the minions here, trying to get XP while delaying here. They're not gaining anything from this, but finally level 7s for both teams. Splintered Spear picked up, and there is still Harvest Vitality coming in for Zool. It's still one of the better sustained talents.
Looking at this fight, they're going to try and go ahead and clear that, but that puts them in a 4v5. Murden in a little bit of a trouble, has to back up. Silence comes out. We have that growing infestation, and Murden does get cleansed away. However, D-Pay is with their life as they go in trying to get some bonus kills on the way out, but don't succeed. This will be going over to the side of Church of Murky.
He has been defeated, and Shock has been killed as we see Dorsh being chased down here. Tether comes in, and that might be a mistake. Right, though. Nice little bio kill switch from McGully. Heals everyone else up, and they're all able to back away.
Team should be looking at their camps at this point. I'm really surprised to see the solo laners did come out and help out their friends. They're getting great value, keeping the teams nice and even in the soak right about now. Everybody just doing their best to try and get what they can on the map.
Seeing mercenaries being grabbed on both sides, going to meet in the middle. Zool currently holding the top lane as Crushinator pieces out. He's got that Hand of Freedom, so able to just get that extra movement speed and get away. And Divine Steed can allow him to rotate down very quickly in the next few minutes, as the next objective will be a single point down in the middle capture area.
I would like to see Urel group up with the team a little bit more and try and look for these fights earlier on, especially with that Hand of Freedom out now. We see they're murdered and rooted right there. They are skirmishing in the middle lane right now. Sappers go in, that tower does go down. Murden has to walk with the Maya, getting lots of damage. Jumps into the Silence, taking even more damage from that Stukot. They do have the talent at level 1 that allows them to do extra damage to low health enemy heroes, so they won't want to do that too often. As we're stepping up to the middle, everyone just skirmishing a little bit more, trying to see what they can get. And Dorsh, once again, very far from the team, gets pulled back in. This could be the end of them. Rooted, dead. They might have to give up this altar.
The cleanse came in, but it didn't last long enough to get rid of the Tether. Tether still pulls him back, and the root from Arthas is going to be effective at pulling Root of Arthas there. Going to pull him back in and keep him from getting away. Nicely done, as level 10 is available for both teams, as already mentioned. Arthas yet to pick his. This is a map where you can place it into Ghoster. I think it actually gets value on other maps where there's more permanent damage value. But we're going to see the capped uncontested going over to Church of Murky.
Now the teams are back grouped together. We can see the solo lanes have split off 2 different lanes, and we see, looks like Church of Murky trying to get a little bit more damage onto that bottom fort. Just try to slowly but surely pull it down.
So, to talk about the Zul build a little more, because I am seeing discussions in the chat. There's obviously not tank build Zul. We are not seeing the massive value here from everything Cleave focused. We are, however, seeing the level 4 Harvest Vitality, which is strange. We're seeing the Tether. Dorj gets away, does get the Dwarf, does Bloodlust, used as a turnaround attempt here, but Dorj is massively low. Okay, they leave.
That's all you can do with the Bloodlust. It does so much damage. They spent a lot of really big heroics right there. Murden with the Avatar. Bloodlust came out, Hyperion came out, and Raynor is going to fall. There's just too much CC. Rel getting no value with that Hand of Freedom, as I don't think they've seen the team since the start of the fight, or the start of the game.
Maya, by the way, did drop the Warden's Cage in a very weird spot. Didn't get too much value. In fact, it maybe helped the enemy team chase them down a little bit for a quick speed boost in. Camp will be taken. Continue what I was saying about the Zul build here. This doesn't actually match any of the builds, as the Q-based build is more focused on the Jailers here, and it doesn't obviously have the Grim Scythe. So Reaper's Tolls, it is a version of the Q builds, but it's definitely a less effective one in my opinion, because you want to combo it with the extra slows later on when you get that Decrepify, which you can, or weaken even if you want to, but Decrepify is the more leaned on one. The value is there. So this is it's a Q build with some different talents here, and obviously you usually go for the Bone Wall at level 7, so we will see an invade onto the left. I'm done talking about Zul. This build is weird, full stop.
It's a Div D build, that's for sure. Swing and a miss on the Rel. They do have a nice 5v5. Avatar is popped super early. Flailing Swipes come out before the Bloodlust is used. That could be a problem for them later. As it comes in, they have a nice race in. Boss doing a bit of extra damage. Maiev on the wrong side of the map. Arctis comes in trying to slow Urel, getting poked down by the Lunar. They have to back out. Maiev caught back with D and the rest of the team. They do go down. Hyperion is dropped to try and grab a little bit of damage, preventing the team from chasing up and saving her.
That was a 4v5. Redbeard just pushing in the bot lane, getting value. Has that Echoes of Death now. Really trying to go in for that push. Get some damage, but Crushinator going pretty deep for this.
They have the slow onto Urel, but it doesn't really matter. She wants to be on top of him, so moving away isn't exactly what they're looking for. Now they are a little bit lower. See the members coming out. Nice backlash, or backbreak onto the Zul. The whole team is here, and they're just delaying the inevitable at this point. Hurry up and die so you can rejoin your team. There we go.
He even needs to hurry up and die or actually use that Harvest Vitality he picked at level 7, which would have kept him alive for a little bit. I assume it was probably on cooldown there because he didn't even drop it. Muradin, by the way, will go for Healing Static and Sledgehammer. So not going to get that double heal potential, but is going for that building killing potential as level 13 is now available. Some talents still not have been picked, but we're already seeing some pretty solid picks, especially that Felon's Chosen.
It's just the talents they're holding, I just don't understand. Like, why are you holding that? It should be armor at 13. Everybody knows that. I mean, you could go into the double Frostmourne here, but it just doesn't... It doesn't fit with the build.
There's extra damage on E on that tier as well, which is exactly what they go for. The Biting Cold coming in here as Q is finished up for Muradin, and Stormbolt is done, but Shock just able to root and back away. He is nearly done with that Frost Presence, by the way, and with Frozen Wastes.
Team is backing out. Muradin gets a nice disengage. Stormbolt, they're trying their best to jump away. Hopefully Cleanse is up as he is very low. There is the Cleanse a little bit late. It might not be enough. I don't know if it was completely off of cooldown. And now Toon's popping the Bloodlust, trying to live. Has to run away.
Oh, he lives! I'm not entirely sure what he did. I think he self-queued there, but Toon survives. Making that a 1-for-1 with Lunara going down. They're chasing deep though. Crushinator knocking several people back here. Gets the under-defender out. But D and Stoic are out here without Rhaegar. Rhaegar in the meantime sneaks this down. Toon's grabbing the shots, but he's separated himself from his team. He is not interrupted by Gorix here.
Nicely done by Cael'Thas. Can't spell. They use the fight to go ahead and distract their team. Meanwhile, the Rhaegar, who was too low to step in and do a whole lot, was able to sneak down, grab it, just like you said. And they're catching back up in this fight. It's anyone's game right now. They're playing really smart. However, this bottom fort, not long for this world.
Arthas has finally stacked all of his talents, so he is here and available and dead, probably. Yep, there he goes.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Corrects with a tether. He's just walking his Muradin, though. He's going to try a juke. Last minute teleport, but
oh, nicely
by
done by Corix. They had the right idea, but it was just a little too late for them. Towers have upgraded, so now that there are 2 members dead on the side of Church of Murky, they will be able to grab these sappers and then go and get the camp back. You don't have anyone to defend it. The towers aren't so powerful.
We're going to be seeing a 3 altar phase coming up next, with both the top and the middle altar being available. Right, dancing away. Reclaiming bot lane. Cael'Thas can't spell. Keep themselves in the game right now. Keeping themselves alive. 24 health to 28 on the core. Zul is rumbled here. Easy steal. Nicely done by Dorj with the stun, preventing anyone from stepping onto that point as they try to hold it. Diamond Skin, by the way, for Li Ming, looking to try and keep herself alive in this fight as Shock is marching forward. Then the Bloodlust though. Can I turn this around as Dorj is able to back up root from the Arthas with the Warden's Cage coming out. Can they hold this lane as the Warden's Cage is causing massive disruption? But Shock is moving back in without the rest of his team. That's way too greedy. But with the 4-man root, he's not going to be able to get away with this though, thanks to Crushinator, the 5th man. And he will get taken out. The only person to fall in this fight. In the meantime, though, sneaky Lunara, for some reason going for her own instead of her enemies first.
Definitely an odd choice. They are rotating up as fast as they can. Corix trying their best to slow the rotation. But Toons with the butt bite is going to be able to get in and stop it from going off. Lunara now will pay with their own life. Corix has to use the tether to escape. And this will go over to Cael'Thas can't spell, putting him in the lead, and they're looking at boss right now. Maiev takes a ton of damage. Nice job by D, and the stomp by Crushinator steals the deal. Now they're going to go for boss.
Round 2 on the boss. Never get to pick that up. Arthas, full E-build here, going for the root on level 16 here. Remorseless Winter here. And the value you can get from this, again with Lunara, who's finally got unfair advantage, can be good. But it's all about that kill potential here. So far, only 1 stack of Bond of Justice by...
Oh, no! You hate to see it.
It happens. But in this case, Zul needs to get the hell out of there as Redbeard will retreat. And he should live this time.
They're able to back out a little bit earlier, and so everyone's just going to step up, clear these waves. Camp should be spawning soon, and now it is Cael'Thas can't spell's turn to push into the bottom lane.
Push this in pretty hard. Arthas is on the way down. Maiev is on the way from base. Orion, be careful where position. Splinter Spear really getting some value here, but no slows to set up for it yet. Redbeard is here in position. Moves forward. Here come the skeletons. He's gone for Decrepify. This is where we get some serious value out from that. Great damage of Lunara here, but there's no one to finish the job, dropping them a little low, but the sustain coming out from this team is insane. Arthas though, multi-man root, here comes the cleanse, forcing them to get out, chasing forward. Orion diving deep here with the leaping striker. They will get Dorj here, almost certainly.
Cleanse came out just a tad too early, wasn't able to clear the root. You want to wait until the last second.
That they get it. They even up to level 18, however level 19 just around the corner. But Cael'Thas can't spell. 1-man advantage. They've actually still got most of their heroics here, so Church and Murky are in a great position to fight this where everything was burnt on the side of Cael'Thas can't spell. Lunara channels, Begali channels. No one's going to contest this. This is going to turn into a double channel here and put them in the lead in terms of core health. But can they turn this around and pick up kills and maybe put themselves in a game-winning situation as they're going to get a good shot at the Crushinator here into the silence, preventing him from healing. He's going to be taken out here. A double kill as they get Raider 2. D is piecing out and keeping himself alive.
Nicely done by Church of Murky, and now for the second time they will be looking at this port. The Nature's Calling from Lunara should make it not long for this world as they go down. Ouchie, says Stoic, and I agree. 3-0 feels pretty bad. They are ahead for the moment, and now they have this fort. They're going to go ahead and try and take both these siege camps.
Siege camps being focused here. Sapper's potential core damage they can get even one of these in as 3 extra damage, bring them down to 9 health, which with double ultras on the way and 5 on their side, they could win the game. If they could just get 2 of these sappers in, they will have lethal, and they're going to try and march it forward. Sappers on the way. Lunara not with them, setting up for a second set of sappers here. Risky leaving her team with 4 members, but it's currently a 4v4. It's not so bad with Reyna on the way. Yorel spawning in 4 seconds, which will turn into the 5v4. Shark backing up, holding it. Tether pulling in. They're going to try and take the 4v4. Looking for Dorsch here with Stoic dropping low too, but with Hyperion, that'll zone him away with 0 sappers making it through.
Teams are going ahead and back off that Hyperion, proving to be just a little bit too much for them. And now Cael'Thas Can't Spell is going to pick up, try and see if they can't grab this fort. However, the team is still hanging by, and they have a second set of sappers. Try to stand that 5 times fast, coming through to do some more damage. It's going to be very difficult for the teams to defend these sappers and get to both altars.
They're letting them through.
They're just going to let them through. All right.
They're committing to one of these altars. If they can get one of these altars, they're still in the game. But if they lose this fight, they lose the game. Toons getting focused down. He's interrupted by Yorel. Lunara's already grabbed the bottom one, making this a 5 versus 5 fight. Onto this final altar for the game of 20. Just about to creep in. It's just around the corner for both teams. But a little closer for the Church of Murky as they move forward. Multi-man route coming in from Arthas as he forces his way forward. He's got no mana. They've forced the fight so long. Dorsch focused down. Good tether. Dorsch is finished off. Down goes Crushinator. But with Stoic taken out, Stoic is chased down. It's a 3 versus 4 with Stoic alive. They're holding, but they need someone. No one's contesting. They're backing up. Why are they backing up? They finally interrupt the wave of force. D low. Here comes Toons. He's giving his life for the cause. He's given the chance for Reyna to grab the fountain, but with D on no mana, Stoic, he's held up by the skeletal mages. He will interrupt one more time, though. They're still surviving, but D's down. Stoic now has to 1v4.
All right, he's gonna take it. What are you doing, you absolute mad lad? Oh my goodness! The spray! The spray!
I think that was from Stoic. He got pulled in. He had a dream, says Crushinator. That's gonna be it. Wow. That's gonna be it, ladies and gentlemen. What a game! It is going to be Church of Murky who take the game and the series. A valiant attempt from Cael'Thas Can't Spell, but Church of Murky are able to finish the job and take the game and the series.
What a close game. Very nicely done once again by both teams. I can't stress what an entertaining and fun series this was. Both teams giving it their all. You know, I kind of, walking into this game, seeing that we were the fifth seeded in the division versus the 11th, I was like, this might be kind of one-sided. But Cael'Thas Can't Spell not giving in until the very last member. They knew they had a dream, and unfortunately it just didn't come tonight. But please, members, if you're in the chat at this point, you did so well, and I sincerely hope that you're proud of the way you played this evening.
I'm just asking if they have time for an interview.
Super quick interview.
Super quick. Well, in the meantime, let me show people the talents while I set up for the next series.
Looking, it is Lightning Shield build with the Gladiators War Shout. 4 tunes, nicely done. Keeps the team alive, nice and healthy. We have the Triumvirate at 4. Wave of Force getting so much damage done, especially with that level 20 upgrade. Cleanse coming in so clutch. They're asking which channel we want to go to.
I assume that is... Okay, so coin 5. That will do, because that's where I usually go. Let's jump into coin 5. Boosh! And hopefully we will get Corix in for an interview in but a moment, which is good, because I'm still setting up. Here he is! Hello, Corix! Congratulations on your game.
Thank you, Tetcher. Those were some great games.
They were very nicely done. You guys played really well. Let's talk about the first game. You guys came in with a Kerrigan draft, and you know, there's been some talk that Kerrigan is kind of one of the C or D tier picks. Is that a comp that you guys run often, or was it just something you felt confident in versus your team this evening?
So this was my first game with the team. I'm a sub.
Ah.
And yeah, I play a lot of melee DPS, and I said that the guys what I was comfortable on, and they let me play the Carrigan because that's a great Carrigan map, right? And it worked really great there. So, yep, that's it.
If it was your first game with the team, we couldn't tell the way you
Yeah.
guys set up. Your communication was so clear, and you guys just ripped through them. So really great job. Moving on to the second game, you guys went for a big draft there. You had some spicy picks and some really amazing. You know, we'll do this and this and this, and our ultimates will just wombo off of each other. And then the game came. Did you guys struggle to communicate what needed to go out when? Because unfortunately, we saw a couple of overlap.
Yeah, I think I overlap my blinds with the ghosts sometimes, and because like I said, I'm not used with the team. The team is great. They have a lot of synergy going on, and as an outsider coming in for this game, it was a bit strange for me sometimes. But yet we had a game plan there, but unfortunately they got the better of us in team fights, especially. We couldn't counter the Sonya. She was always on the Oro backline and wrecking people. So yeah, there was some great game from CCS there.
They played very well, and because of this, you've moved, I believe, a little bit further up the table. So I try to ask this question in every interview we do. Which teams do you have coming up who you're excited to play against or a little bit nervous to play against?
Oh my god. I know.
Anyone you want to
I
call
was
out? Anyone you want to nod to?
Just some shit talking.
I was on Immer's feed, and I think Tetcher got he's streaming them.
We're
after
casting them
this
right
one.
after this. Second your interview ends, we're going into them.
And Tetcher Murky is playing them on next week, and I already said the guys I can't make that because I was playing with them, now I'm playing with Tetcher Murky, and I think that will be a big one. But yeah, we're trying to climb on the seeding to get a better seeding and get some better opponents on the playoffs. And I think that's it. I think Armor's feed on next week should be a big one.
Alright, sounds good. So we have to get ready for our next cast, but before we go, do you have any shout outs, any call outs, anything you want to say before we head off?
First of all, shout outs to Orion and Herdbird, who invited me to the team. And shout outs as well to both Shocky and Big Ali. Those guys are really great. They are great players and great guys to have around. Shock is a great shot caller. And that's it. Thanks for the cast. By the way, it's a dream to have a game cast by Tetcher, so it's so nice to be here. Yeah.
I'm really touched.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for the cast, guys.
Thank you so
Really
much,
appreciate
honey.
it.
You go celebrate your win. Have a good evening.
Alrighty, we are going to head to a very quick break while we just have time to pee. We're going to keep the players waiting for like a minute or two. We'll be right back. I'm not going to put anything on the timer, it's just going to be on soon, so don't go anywhere, and if you do, be fast, because we will be back with Probus Drift Cannon Rush versus I Must Feed after this quick break. Don't go anywhere, we will be right back. I'm sure that wasn't important, whatever just fell down there. We will be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.